Hey guys, okay, so I decided for this season of my blogging, since I've kind of eased you guys a little bit, just in, funny stuff, fun stuff myself, obviously normal life, because we all out there live very normal. Everybody's different. We all have our issues and our problems and our life that comes about. So I decided, you know what, I am just going to do a season of vlogging on my life, kind of like writing a story but telling you my story, making a movie but me making the movie with you guys. I don't know. With pictures and me dialoguing on my perspective, on my point of view, on my side, because obviously I can't talk for anybody else. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't want to be negative, but there is going to be negativity. It's life. I don't want to be sappy for things, but there is going to be sappy. I don't want to feel like I'm on eggshells, but I'm not having eggshells. I'm just going to do it. Why not? We all live. We're all here, right? We go through our own things, and somehow I'm gonna come up with something with this. But anyway, so I have tons and tons and tons of pictures, and I'm sure I can find more pictures to go along with stuff too. And I thought, well, I could do a blog and talk about it, and then show pictures through life, and kind of tell my story, my personal appearance story, through my life, along the way with this journey. Since I decided that, like I did yesterday's, I'm ending the touring. So that means I'm ending the journey. That journey has ended because new ones had begun. I kind of have to follow myself sometimes. but I guess there's a point to it, and as we go, I'm sure to get better. And the whole purpose is, no matter who you are, where you come from, what's going on, sometimes, some point in life, we went through some kind of circle of life, rather if you're a Christian and you have to serve the Lord, or if you live with, whatever your situation is. Everybody has their own situation, just life in general, whatever. So I kind of want to do my thing with the fact that I am a Christian and having to serve the Lord, serve with the Lord. So I'm going to tell my story without getting choked up or mad or upset or whatever. I'm going to control myself. And I'm going to tell my story around it, trying to get myself back to a point where I was at one point in life, if we can follow, if that makes sense to other Christians. So yeah, so this is going to be my story, and I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to start it off with some pictures after my blog. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll talk about it, maybe, give stories, and then some pictures. So yeah, so the whole journey is surrounded by me, and obviously my younger children's dad, because at the beginning there was us, and life, the Lord comes calling, but life changes, and things have happened in our life separately and as a whole. And so this is the journey to there, and this is the journey back from the journey of where we are now. So that's what I'm going to do. So might as well do it, right? Time's ticking. So, but anyways, yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully you guys enjoy it, or just, enjoying hearing somebody else's story and how you can relate to different things, or as Christians, us who are Christians and we understand certain things, we can talk about it. And obviously, if when you're close with people, there's nothing to hide, so you can freely talk to people without somebody else shutting you down, because people know. And it's just yourself trying to keep yourself on track. So hopefully you guys will like this one, and then if you want to leave comments or questions or whatever, then feel free to, and if I'm able to answer it, then I will. If not, then I will not answer certain questions. But I will do as much as I can for you guys, and the fact that you know, one day my children might see my blogs or see something and they might have answers. So anything that I could give answers to, that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing it too. And it is going to be titled, and you'll see all my children, there will be a picture each time I do it. This is our story, and it's one of those, like I've been telling you guys, kind of try to see if you can follow along the best that you can. I know it may make sense, it may not make sense. There's a lot in there. Obviously we're young, and you know, we do go this way and we go this way and we do this and we do that before, you know, everybody has their own whatever before they settle down or whatever the situations are. So there's a lot to it. So anyways, I hope you guys can enjoy it, and I'm going to try to do the best that I can, out of what I can. I don't know what I'm going to come up with, because this is going to be more of a serious thing. So we're pretty much going to be minusing everything that you see on Abigail's Adventures is stuff that how I was with my family. So if you can take a picture in your mind, as Christians you would understand, picture in your mind all those things. Okay, you know, you find your activity or whatever, and you have your family surrounded, and you do all that stuff with your family. So when your family is not with you, and these are the things that you're used to doing as a whole, as a family, you can see why people with depression, why it's hard on us, or losing your family just out of the blue, or something else that happens that causes your family to drift or to be taken away, or whatever the situation is. So it's going to go back to the beginning when I did it, where we're up here, and then we're over here, and then we're over here, and over here, and over here, and over here, whatever the situation is. So we're going to be doing that in this too, to have to follow why this came about in life, or why this has come about in the life, and then why this has come about in the life. So yeah, I'm going to try to do this the best that I can, and so that way you kind of have an aspect of what I was doing with my adventures with Abigail and all the stuff that I've been doing on my blog, because that is part of life, you know, from my cooking things, obviously that's life, from the adventures that was part of our life, from how I am with people in general, because that was part of our life, and it was kind of who we were in the life of getting to the point to where we were supposed to be, or where we was, until we went back to having to serve the Lord. So I am going to do the best I can with this without crying, because I do cry a lot, and I do get a little lost at times, and I do get upset, but this is our story. It was nobody else's, it is our story, and it's the only way I can do it. So, and if you guys get offended by relationship statuses like male and female, female, male, you might not want to see this blog, because I am a child of a gay lesbian couple. I do have parents of opposite sex, but that is part of my family, so it is part of my blog, and it is a part of who I am. So if it bothers you and offends you, then you don't want to see the beginning of my vlogs at all. That's fine with me. But it is part of my life, and I do love my mom, and it is what it is. So if you have anything negative to say, or if you have anything negative to say because of the situation, or however you might pretend your minds, you can leave your comments, or you can just stay away from it. So anyways, okay, so as a Christian, this is what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna tell my story from the beginning the best that I can, with what memories I have, with what I do have, to my struggles and trials and struggles and love struggles and trials and everything else around it. So I can't wait to start this, and I will see you guys, who knows when? No, hopefully soon. I don't know how long in between these breaks, or in between these times, I'm going to be doing this to try to put this stuff together for you guys. So I am going to be working on this. So yeah, so here's a few pictures. I think what I have for the beginning is just going to be the same picture you'll see. This was our family. You'll see me when a lot of them when I was younger. I'll probably back up to like when I tell my stories, like when I was younger, middle, in between time, the in between, of everything. You'll see me as a single mom. When I first became a single mom, I was 16 years old, so you'll see stories about that. And of course, living and being a single mom under the roofs of other people's beliefs. And this all has something to do with beliefs too, people's different beliefs. And this is part of the story too. People using their own beliefs against other people's beliefs, and how, anyways, you'll figure it out, because I'll be very outspoken about it. So anyways, yeah, so there's a lot to it, and I'm going to try to do the best I can. And I ask, please don't be judgmental, those who are judgmental out there. I know there's people who are just like us, who are not judgmental, so that, you know, obviously I know those people can understand, and I know the ones who have overcome and overcome a lot of stuff, where they have that stability, where they're comfortable with the way their lives are, physically, mentally, because they know how it is. There's some people out there who mentally are just crazy out there, and then there's some who are so snotty. They're so snotty that they just, I don't know what their deal is. And you could be what people considered a snot and be like this and still have the same compassion and concerns for the same ways that you walked in life. Everybody changes, everybody takes their journeys, and they either they want to change, or they don't want to change, or they stay the same. It's the way the world is. So, but this is our story, and I'm going to do this. So I will see you guys later. Bye. I also meant to tell you guys, so if you're just checking, like starting this one to start watching these, you have to back up to the beginning of my stuff and just kind of follow along everything that I was doing. Just really pay attention to all the little quirks and details and different things that I do that I was doing in my Abigail adventures, or just my little off fun time and stuff, because it all plays mentally and physically. It all kind of plays the whole role in everything. Everything that we are, everything that we were, everything we stand for, everything we believe in, or at least for myself. I can't speak for anyone else, but for myself, because this is my journey. This was my battles. This was my beliefs. This was my it's the battles and the different things that I deal with personally, like what I was talking about, mentally and physically and emotionally. I do deal with certain things on different levels. I know there's many people that are opinionated and judgmental and this, that, and the other, but it is what it is for some of us, for whatever the reason was, either if it come from the beliefs and the whole belief system, to how people judge certain things, to, you know, there's all kinds, my personal opinion, there's all kinds of different Christians or Christian beliefs and stuff. And that's kind of where I struggle, because I have my own beliefs when it comes to certain things. I say that I'm not judgmental, and I'm going to auto-correct that. I do judge. Don't get me wrong. I do judge when it comes to a lot of things. Obviously, there's things to be judged, and in my opinion, and just my own personal learning and struggles and personal life as a Christian, there are some things that we advocate for, and there are some people who it just depends on their demeanor and their spirit and how they are, or what they are, you know, obviously as humans, or as a parent, or as a whatever. We see things, some people see things in a different box, where some of us see things in another box, because we're more of, you know, just those personal struggles and personal things and spiritual. The whole thing is the mental and spiritual thing does play a lot of small quirks, that obviously, like I said, some things I will leave out, obviously. So if you want to be judgmental, please leave your door closed, because there is certain demonic, obviously some of us believe in demonic stuff. We may not talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. But we have seen it and we have experienced it, and we know either firsthand or we know physically, mentally, psychically, whatever the situation is on those situations. So leave those judgments and that door closed, please, because, obviously some of us were on a learning path of certain things, and it's a spiritual, mental, physical, human walk. So those things, I prefer to keep, I do the best that I can with what I can do when it comes to certain things in life. But like I said, I do not judge when it comes to certain things, and there are some things I absolutely will not say stuff about because I can't. There is some things obviously that I do judge about because either they hit a personal note, or maybe some people, when they have physically have gone through certain things, they obviously going to be opinionated about certain things. So whatever, as a Christian, the situation is, to me, that is part of my story, along with everything else that, for whatever reason, from where I was to begin with, before I had to serve with the Lord, that's the way it was. So at the beginning, no, things are not completely blissful. You have heartbreak, you have this, you have that. They're like, you need to grow up, you need to find a career at certain things. What are you passionate about? What's your passion? What's your beliefs? So all this, in some aspects, I can maturely try to keep my peace with it and say that it was part of a learning system. But then on the other hand, there's a lot of stuff that has come about through the beginning of what I was actually at the beginning of this life before I had to serve with the Lord. So I do kind of go back and forth with stuff. So again, I do have a lot of personal things, and it's hard when you don't physically have that team there that really knows and really tries to keep you together on that personal level of just, it's okay, just breathe. When you don't have that person that understands or have seen it or even has been through similar or same situations too, whatever the situation is, we all work completely different. All of us, to my knowledge, to the way I see things, a lot of people work differently for whatever reason. So, but other than that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to try to do my little blog on life from the beginning to now, to the present, and try to see what I can do with it. I know it's not going to be easy for me because I try to stay very closed about it, but obviously I can't. But yeah, so that's why I try to do all my other stuff, because obviously I see things one way. You make it through the time in life when you're having to serve with the Lord, and if people who are not understanding of Christians' lives or life in general or whatever, then they probably wouldn't understand those parts. If they do, they overlook stuff. They understand because they've seen the person from presence or future or whatever the situation was, so they know their story, they know what they're going through, or they know what's happening, or they're not out there. They really do know what's happening, even when you feel kind of kooky and out there. They know. And those are the ones I'd rather keep on my team, because they're more understandable with they're more mature at understanding certain things. So yeah, so I'm going to do this, but yeah, so go to the back, and, just being normal all the way back and all the way forward, forward. That's all I can do, with it. It's all I have to work with. And I will try to work with what I have. And I don't know if this will help somebody. I don't know if it'd be good for somebody else who has their own kind of story to tell. So yeah, so I'm going to try to do the best that I can with this, and we'll see how it goes. So I will get this going for you guys. Like I said, I do have pictures. It'd be the start of it. It'd be this is our family. And I'll have me as a single mom because that obviously I ended up life changed and I ended up being a single mom in it wasn't the 80s, but it was the 90s, the late 90s. I was a 16-year-old single mom, and of course stories change, but my story was still kind of similar, so you have to kind of follow along for what I can pull out and remember. There's obviously going to be a lot of heartache. There was situations of losing children, adoption struggles, heartache, a lot of different stuff. Really, there's a lot of stuff, and I guess I can work on it. So, yeah, so I'm going to try to do This Is Our Story. So I hope you guys can follow along and can relate. And if you want to leave me comments, you can leave me comments. And I'll see you guys on the next vlog. Bye.
This was our story. This is us. This is our families and our children. This was us. This was a part of our lives before, after, and now. This is us. This is me as a 16-year-old single parent of a little boy. This is me when I moved away and made my plans. Single mom of 2. This is me with my beautiful daughter. This is us. This is me. No, this is my daughter. This is my son and the little man in between. He lost his daddy. This is us. These are my twin girls. They're beautiful. This was us. This was us. And these are our children.